This is Enthusiastic Woman, the podcast, broadcasting from the Enthusiastic Woman Worldwide headquarters, where every day we birth success. I'm Miss Shannan, here with my birthing partners, Judy Carter and Samantha Masalia, women prepared to birth success. Friends, Gen X women, and on this podcast we analyze, discuss, and parody trending topics, pop culture, and insane products. Hello, ladies.
Hello. Hi.
Hello. We have 4 amazing segments prepared for all of our enthusiastic audience out there. We're going to do our product displacement segment. This one, I had to go on quite the journey. We have some beyond information about the new product, Beyond Meat. Then when we move into our next segment, did you see this? And did you see this? I have an interesting article I want to talk to you guys about Disney princesses and how they influence girls and women around the world. So I'm excited to have that discussion with you guys. Today, and Does This Make Me Old? Judy has a list of 27 things everyone over the age of 40 does. And I'm curious to see how many of those we will tick off. And then in our final segment today, Don't Crime has a story about, I forgot what that one was because we pulled that one out.
Oh,
I know. That one. What is it again, Sam?
It's about a truly idiotic criminal who did something really dumb with a blowtorch.
Oh, yes.
Is this person from Florida?
Well, they were in Florida when they did the deed.
It's usually Florida or Wisconsin. We're going to find that out.
Apropos.
Yeah, as we continue into Don't Crime, I'm sure that those 2 states are going to come up very, very often. But first, we are going to start with product displacement. Product displacement today is brought to you by Enthusiastic Woman Online and the Absolute Influence suite of products available at enthusiasticwoman.com. And this one, Sam, you're going to kick this one off, right? You have a story about a brand new plant-based product called
Beyond Meat.
I love it.
And I should mention, I am the wife of a vegan, so I'm predisposed to being a fan of this.
Okay.
Beyond Meat is a plant-based meat-making company based in El Segundo, California, and they've been in the news over the last week because they are blowing up.
Yeah.
Beyond Meat is burgers and sausages that are made from pea protein, potato starch, and plant-based ingredients. And the company sells to 30,000 grocery stores, restaurants, and schools in the UK, the United States, Canada, Italy, and Israel. And they are the first alternative meat company to go public, which they did in May, and sales immediately exceeded market expectations. In fact, their 2019 revenue is going to top $200 million more than last year's sales, and they're now valued at $6 billion. And they're part of this incredibly rapidly growing meatless meat market, which is predicted to reach $5.2 billion.
Their marketing is fantastic. I'm
Yeah,
a fan of food photographers anyway. And I'm one of those people that food photography definitely resonates with me.
Yeah.
And so I remember I was sitting at on my phone and one of the Beyond Meat burger pop-up ads just flew into my face, basically. And I was just like, I can't wait to get that in my mouth. I have to go and find it. And it did really, I was like, oh my gosh, that burger, they need to pay that photographer triple whatever their rate is because it really did look mouth-wateringly delicious. And I'm like, Beyond Meat? And that was before I knew what it was. I just was like, Beyond Meat? Is this some weird, idea? And so I had to go, it did draw me in and make me go look what it was. And then when you get to the Beyond Meat, because it is kind of a aggressively salacious, but also just clearly what it is title. So I think it was a good attention-gating title because it does sound like, oh my gosh, Beyond, like there's already so many like
the Impossible Burger, which is good.
Right.
I've had one of those. They're
There's
good.
so much bordering on like dirty joke with their title, like all these things that they know.
Yeah.
And so they know all of these things are going to happen when you call it Beyond Meat. It writes its own punchline.
Yeah.
But it does pull you in.
Yeah.
And so I did go to their website. And the thing about Beyond Meat, because it's so popular all of a sudden, it required quite the scavenger hunt for me to go and actually find it.
It's funny you say that because, you refer to their marketing. One of their tactics is they are going after not the vegan or the vegetarian. They are going after meat eaters.
Right.
And so they, and maybe this is what you found, Shannon, they ask for placement in grocery stores in the meat aisle.
Yes. So they're next to the rest of the bratwurst.
Yeah.
And the other thing that is interesting is that they are actively looking for marketing opportunities in non-vegetarian vegan restaurants. Like they might end up in Hooters of all places.
Totally makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're going because they really are trying to go. No, we're this. And the thing that I think is interesting. So I looked on their website. I found the first store that I thought I was going to be able to find them at. I went to that store. They did not have it. I looked all over the store. I went to the second store, and I was. They have primarily 3 products. They have their burgers, and then they have 2 different varieties of sausages. They have like a hot Italian version and then a bratwurst version. So I was able to find the hot Italian version. I wanted the burger, which I really wanted. And so, but I couldn't find that. So I, of course, went home with my Beyond Meat.
Oh, they have the crumbles too.
Oh, okay. I didn't look for the crumbles. So you could do that in your breakfast, kind of thing.
Or your tacos.
My daughter is vegetarian, and we almost eat no meat, and we buy crumbles all the time because we make like tacos or spaghetti or
Those look delicious,
anything
Judy.
you would use for ground beef. We never buy ground beef.
Okay, so I did take some pictures, and I made sure not to spoil it and send you to that. So there's me putting the Beyond Meat sausage into my mouth.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So I did
is.
actually eat it.
Yep.
This is what the Beyond Meat looks like, and I'll put these on our page if you go to Enthusiastic
That looks
Woman on
okay.
Facebook. If you go to
good.
that thing. And then this is going to be both telling and kind of gross. This is what, and I'm going to put all of these non-filtered pictures up on our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook,
Nice.
Enthusiastic Woman, because I think everybody should see it. Now, this picture, this is what the Italian sausages look like in my nonstick pan.
Don't put
So what do you
that
guys
on
think?
our Instagram.
Because it's kind of gross, right?
Meat eaters. That's
Yes,
exactly.
but that's
yeah.
what I feel like. It looks appropriately meaty, disgusting.
They bleed beet juice. That's
They
what they
do.
say.
They
Yeah.
bleed this juice that looks just like grease.
Yeah.
They and that to me looked like what you would think. It's the appropriate mess for my sausage, and they have done a good job of masking it into just looking like regular sausages.
It's for a carnivore.
Correct.
Yeah.
And they have the consistency right, because I do a lot of the seitan and the tofu. I go through these phases, kind of thing, where I'm not completely vegetarian by any means, but I do rotate through. So I use a lot of those products. I also have been a big fan of the non-dairy cheese industry, where they've worked so hard to make these things act as their dairy product.
Because you don't want your son to have dairy.
I don't want my son to have dairy, so
That's
I just
great.
worked really well. So there are a couple of brands that were very interesting in their food science standards of trying to make sure that this cheese acts like normal cheese. So it needs to melt on a crust, and you need to be able to make quesadillas with it. So like Daya, to me, is a non. They did a really good job of doing what Beyond Meat is doing now.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, I'm going to put this gross picture up, because I think it's important that they went, no, we are going to make a way to make it
send it to
gross.
me, and I'll at least put some cute lettering over it.
I have been
And a
trying
border.
I can't wait to try this. I have been working my way toward becoming a vegetarian, and my strategy has been to remove over time one meat from my world at a time. I haven't had pork for a year and a half. Just finished beef. I'm done with that. I never liked seafood.
Right.
Chicken is the hurdle. I do not know
fair
how
enough.
I'm going to replace chicken in my diet.
Why do you have to? Why don't you just mainly never eat it and just have it once in a while? Why do you have to banish it forever?
You know what it is for me? It's not a health thing at all, frankly. It's animal welfare.
Okay.
And I just realized that at some point I realized that I was engaging in absolute hypocrisy, because I'm such an animal lover, and I'm so concerned with animal welfare. And meanwhile, I was eating steaks and hamburgers and sausage and bacon. And I just woke up one day, and the hypocrisy had gotten to me so much. I realized I had to put my money where my mouth is.
Yeah, that's
literally.
fair.
Well, now they are making your life much easier, because I think you would, and Beyond Meat, I think that it is at the forefront of where we are going with food technology.
Oh, yeah.
I think that we have tried to figure out these alternate protein sources for multiple times. Like, even if you go back to like old school movies, I remember my mom and I watching Soylent Green, which makes you go, oh my gosh, we're going to eat people eventually. So I'm glad that they're figuring out how to make plants make sense.
Yeah. I've just found over the years, I mean, my daughter went vegetarian really young. Maybe when she was in 5th grade, she just said, no more meat for me. Mainly out of a absurd love for animals. I mean,
Fair
she's
enough.
just loves animals, and she's stuck that way. So when we cook at home, I just make vegetarian. And most of the times when we order out, I choose not to have meat either. But if I really want something, and I'm love seafood and fish, so but I don't have that all the time. Just every once in a while. So if somebody said to me, just go all vegetarian, you can never have meat anymore, I'd be like, yeah, all right.
I could do it. Do I choose to do it? No. I do dabble in all of the products.
Yeah.
But I also I'm a meat dabbler. But I'm also one of those people that then I think it's interesting when you are a meat dabbler, because then I'll order something vegetarian intentionally, because sometimes I just go, you don't need meat every day of your life. I'm not one of those people, but I do rotate through. And then it does seem interesting that it stands out more when I go, oh, I'm going to have this, or I get some veggies set. They're like, oh, you're a vegetarian? No, but I'm not opposed to vegetables. I like being able to have all of these options. So I would definitely buy Beyond Meat again. And I am definitely, I hope that it comes to the normal retailer that I shop with, so that I don't have to go on this hunt, because it was good, but it wasn't necessarily good enough that I would change my shopping personally.
Sure,
I
get
wouldn't
it.
change my shopping habits for it. It wasn't that where I'm like, this is my new jam. But I like adding it in.
They sell it at the co-op that's walking distance from where I live.
Yeah, see, that co-op that I ended up going to, a Byerly's and Lunch, which isn't that far from me. It's just not the normal store that I shop at on a regular basis. So it added into an extra trip. Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, I'm just not that committed. I'm like,
and
there's
some days
nothing
there's
wrong
not
with it.
time.
I'm just not that committed that I'm going to go and do it. But if, Sam, you might like it, kind of thing. I think that it's something you definitely try.
And my daughter doesn't need to be sold on. She's not a meat eater, so she wouldn't care. She'd be fine with any.
So we'll see if she likes it.
Substitute.
She can add some. We can add some variety in her life and see if she's like, okay, this is my new.
Well, for burgers, I know her. She'd rather have a black bean burger.
Because this does not taste like those type. If you are accustomed,
she wouldn't want it to be like meat. She'd rather have black meat.
If you are accustomed to that particular variety of non-meat products, it is not like that at all. It is a lot more like something that you would like, Sam, where you can wean yourself off of meat.
Right.
Because you can very much convince yourself into, I am having a similar experience to what I have when I eat a meat product.
Right.
So that part I think makes sense. So everybody go do some shopping, and Judy, I'll send you the pictures first so you can go ahead and filter them. So that'll be fine.
Because they might see it in our feed and be like, what has gone
on
here?
Who are these women?
I wouldn't post it without an explanation. It wouldn't just be
You
like,
just see it in
here's
the
sausage.
grid. I care about the grid, and it'd be like, curated content. Did they get hacked? Curated content.
What kind of fan base are you building, ladies?
Why is there sausages on there? That is today's product displacement. Product displacement brought to you today by Enthusiastic Women Online and the Absolute Influence suite of products available at enthusiasticwoman.com. Now a word from Enthusiastic Woman, author, entrepreneur, and enthusiastic certified life coach, Mary McMillan Masters. Hello all, I am Mary McMillan Masters. You probably know me from my book, Baking the Best You, my radio and television appearances, my product endorsements, my line of motivational coffee mugs, and my popular combination body wash and disinfectant, Cleanse Yourself Now. Are you tired of ruining your success? You should be. But do not worry yourself with that. I can help. Register right away for my new Absolute Influence Seminar, an afternoon of self-assessment exercises led by me to help you become the master of you and others. Hurry and sign up today. Absolute Influence will only be offered for a short time in locations across Tempe, Arizona. Brought to you by Enthusiastic Women Online, we birth success. It's always so nice when Mary comes to visit.
Nice.
Yes, she just seems so positive. So positive. All right, are you ready to go into Did You See This here on the Enthusiastic Woman podcast, ladies and gentlemen? So this was one we recently out in the wild and in the theaters. We had the brand new Aladdin film. It did about C plus B minus. It got some decent reviews out there, but it did get me thinking about